Welcome to a glorious guide to Bretonnia, also known as the fantasy version of a certain communistic powerhouse during the Cold War. I'll let you figure out which one I'm talking about. No, please wait before you start writing that comment. I know, Bretonnia is all about chivalry and being righteous, but you can't deny me that treating peasants as equals and confederating other nearby settlements to form their own superpower doesn't sound just a little bit similar. Now, while I like my own version of Bretonnia a lot more, I guess I can quickly cover how they got started in the Warhammer fantasy. So, basically some guy saw what Sigmar was doing, gathering all the lands into the Empire, and he was like, yeah, seems good, but they need more horses. And so he rode off to conquer the lands and unite the people. The end. Now, fast forward a few centuries or millennia, and Bretonnia was filled to the brim with strong knights riding horses and hiding their magnificent faces behind helms to ensure that all the maidens of the varying villages wouldn't leave the safety of their homes scurrying after them. It was that, or their faces were so hideous after being kicked in the face by horses during training that they really had no choice but to hide it away. But honestly, it's a 50-50 on which one is correct, so, don't ask me. No matter which lord or lady you choose to play as in your Bretonnian campaign, you'll be able to gain insane diplomatic relationship bonuses through the technology tree. This means you barely even have to do anything to confederate. You just gotta show up and show how much more technologically advanced you are than them, and they'll just join you. The Bretonnian Union prides themselves on three things: cleansing the world of unwanted races, such as greenskins, vampires, tomb kings, Norska, chaos, lizardmen, pirate vampires, and even, when called for, dwarves. Basically, if you aren't a human, they aren't gonna like you. Secondly, honoring their lady by completing vows to grant them various bonuses to themselves, their armies, and settlements. And finally, talking down about the peasant mobs. If you find yourself wanting to entertain one of the previously mentioned things, then Bretonnia is a union you should pledge yourself to. Actually, I take that part back. Not the part about being racist and all that, that's totally true. I take the part about Bretonnia being like the Soviet Union back. Like, at least the Soviets pretended that everyone was equal. However, when you place Bretonnia, it's clear that they couldn't give less of a rat's ass about the peasants. Like any other faction in the Warhammer games, you're giving dilemmas every once in a while. And, I mean, just look at this one. They openly mock the peasants even though they form most of your army in the early game. If the nobles don't chill, they'll have an angry mob outside the doors faster than they can say, "For the lady." As I just mentioned, the peasants form the majority of your army early on. They even come with the expendable trade, so you don't have to worry about them scaring off your valuable units. What you do need to be scared about is how few you can actually recruit early on. You see, not only do Bretonnia send these poor peasants into whatever monstrosities they might encounter on the battlefield, but they also depend on them to tend the farms and provide you with income. So early on, you're given the choice of either licking your wounds for 3 turns after each battle because you just can't field a large enough army, or earning less money than essential workers in America putting their health at risk so you can buy another goddamn liter of mayonnaise. Alright, that last one might be a personal thing, but you get the point. Once you finally get past that hurdle, you can start recruiting actual Bretonnian units, the cavalry. These serve as your bread and butter from when you get them and until the end of your campaign. If nothing else, while playing Bretonnia, you'll learn to cycle charge like your life depended on it. Because honestly, it kinda does. In some cases you can charge your cavalry in and leave them be and it'll be okay, but most of the time you need to micromanage like you're a broker on Wall Street, otherwise your cavalry might find themselves turned into glue by the end of the battle. Because of this, the good old hammer and anvil technique is a great tactical fit for the Bretonnian army. But should you grow annoyed of having to actually move your cavalry on the ground, you could also deploy your Pegasus Knights, which have Vanguard deployment and bonus versus large, making them your anti-cavalry cavalry. And to make sure those darn peasants doesn't run away in the middle of a fight, make sure to bring the skeleton of a dead knight on a wooden stick, to give all units in an area a healthy bonus to their leadership, as well as immunity to fear and terror. Okay, can we just take a quick break to talk about how they put a dead leader on public display? Like, this only happened in the fantasy world. Who in their right mind would... Oh, right. So what are you waiting for? Go get out there and perform your chivalrous acts as you unite your kingdom under a totally fair, totally equal rule, which you totally will be able to do after watching this glorious guide to Bretonnia.